To the men's final, and Australians have qualified 1-2 with a remarkable 269 last game, clinching third place for Qatar's Hamad Al Mereikhi. The three bowlers in order are number 1 qualifier Ian Bradford from Melbourne, 2 Andrew Frawley, Sydney, 3 Ahmed from Qatar. Great performance. There's only one bowling centre in the Gulf country. First up, the number 2 qualifier Andrew Frawley, a 28-year-old plainclothes detective. He's been bowling for 13 years with a high game of 299. 2 years ago, second in this event in Jakarta. 3 qualifier, his opponent, Hamad Al Mereikhi, a 24-year-old student. He's been bowling for just 6 years, a high game of 297. His only major achievement was the Gulf Cup Championship last year. The winner to meet Ian Bradford in the grand final. So first up in the men's final is 28-year-old Andrew Frawley. He's a very big man, standing nearly 2 metres tall, 195 centimetres or 6 feet 5, and tipping the scales at 105 kilograms. And a Brooklyn.
Well,
in the back door.
You know, all week these guys have been bowling the enormous hook ball. They've done exceptionally well, such a really high scores. We'll see whether what Ahmed's like under the lights. Andrew's bowled quite a few step ladders. He's bowled under the lights before. He has maybe a bit more experience.
Big hook. And it's a hot standard in the men's section. And he is quite a success story, this man, Hamad Al Mereikhi. Yes, the remarkable thing about Ahmed is that there's only one bowling centre over there in Qatar and something like a couple of hundred participants.
They've already produced a World Cup champion, so they have done exceptionally well.
Andrew Frawley.
He's been practicing an enormous amount the last few weeks, last few months, in fact. On these lanes, he's really readied himself for this tournament. He wants to give it his all. As you can see, you know, these guys with the big hook ball, it just goes out, it screams back into the pocket. It has the power to knock over 20. You know, you'll see here that he cups it here, and he cups it an enormous amount later on there, and then he gets through the ball. But the important part of the shot is that he gets the thumb out clean.
He's on a white-hot streak with 3 strikes in succession. 23-year-old Hamad Al Mereikhi from Qatar. And this match is sudden death, this final, with the winner to go straight through to the grand final against Ian Bradford.
This is going to be a strike-for-strike match. It should be very high scoring.
Got to be stiff.
Very much so. Ooh, unlucky again. There's that stubborn 10-pin.
Twice it's let him down.
Andrew's 10 up in the first frame already. So Ahmed has to stay clean, not miss anything, and then he's got to get some strikes because Andrew's going to strike. Okay, let's see if we can get the 4th.
There's a big late loop on that one.
It's what we call roll out when the ball sort of dies. It stops moving in the direction that it should be going in. It just stops hooking, basically. You'll see here he changes balls, goes to a straighter ball. No problem with the spare. Andrew is an excellent sparer. Well, he dropped that one a little short. This is going to be difficult. Ahmed here has a golden opportunity.
He prefers this right-hand lane.
Well, he's been a little stiff so far. I thought that was a little high. So there's only 7 pins in it. So no, he hasn't really done himself any damage. Just got to make spares. What he wants to do now is go over and get a strike. You know, set something up for when he next gets up.
And it's Qatar versus Australia. Winner to meet Ian Bradford in the grand final. Perilously close to the gutter.
No, that's the way they play. That's actually the way they play. I think in last year's South Pacific final, Jason Dowse actually threw a gutter ball, which helped him. You know, I spoke to him after the match and he said, well, once it went in the gutter, I knew how far I could throw it right. He's got to spare this, though. That's a difficult spare.
So this is going to be a very tight contest.
It is now, because Andrew's just got up there and opened the frame. He knows he has to get the ball out, and he really wants to keep the ball in the pocket.
Andrew Frawley back in the groove, and the home crowd likes it.
Sue just directing traffic there. They help each other an enormous amount. They work out a lot together and they coach each other.
A double.
He really has to get his thoughts together here. He has to start making some good shots and make sure he gets strikes, or else he's out.
And for the third time, that 10-pin is his nemesis. We talked about the gutter ball.
Well, it's, again, the 10-pin is really a nemesis for the right-handers, especially these guys that turn the ball a real lot. They have to go to another ball. It goes so much straighter than their first ball that it's very hard to judge. You know, the first ball just hooks an enormous amount, and then the second ball just goes dead straight, and it's very hard for them to judge.
So a critical double by Andrew Frawley, followed by an open frame to Ahmed. And he has a horror split here too.
And it just didn't come back. The idea there was to hit the pin on the left and slide it over to get the 10, but he just hit the 2-pin too full.
Andrew Frawley looks like a man who really means business here. He knows that he has this match by the throat now.
He really does. He's got a double up. He can be 136 in the sixth frame. So he's 21 down in the sixth plus whatever he gets here. If he strikes here, he's got 21 plus a double.
Well, that should just about wrap it up, I think.
He's just, he's on fire. He's getting that ball right out. As I've said, he's practiced a lot on synthetic lanes. He just puts in an enormous amount of work, and he really deserves it all. I actually think he should have won more than he has. Won his first major victory earlier on this year in the Cool Foam Classic, and it was a well-deserved win.
Third in the 1992 Australian Open. Third in the Perth Cup. And that's 4 strikes in a row. Andrew Frawley knows that he's secure now for his place in the grand final.
Definitely. We'll see here, the ball goes in. Perfect, 10 in the pit. Can't do any better than that.
Ahmed playing for pride here.
Oh, there he slowed the ball up a fraction, and it paid the result. I think that was what I think he was a bit tense before all through the match, and again, these guys that turn the ball up, their release is so critical. Speed control is difficult for them. Andrew tends to play a bit mid in between. He sort of just really revs up a stroke shot. Again, as we've seen, he relaxes, the strikes come.
And I think he's probably thinking what might have been.
See there, ball just perfect, straight through the pins. Harman could still punch out for a 193 game, but Andrew has already got that. Just not bowling the ball as well. I think it's probably his first time under lights.
Five in a row, and he's really throwing down the challenge now to Ian Bradford.
This is going to be an enormous match. You know, Ian really is a great player, and Andrew's trying to make his name.
6 in succession.
Look at this. Ball goes way out, comes right back. Well, what more can you say?
What a way to finish.
256 game. He has just bowled superbly. The one loose shot, left in the split, and he missed a conversion. Just fantastic.
256 plays, 182. Marvellous victory there for young Andrew Frawley, finishing with 7 strikes in a row.